Good evening and welcome to our weekly program, Matters of the Moment. I am Umar Farouk Mohammed. As you have known, Matters of the Moment is a news and current affairs division program of the state television, on which on weekly basis we bring you issues of discourse with a scope of widening such issues of discourse with experts and personnel who have the wherewithal to discuss on the issue of discourse. Like any other time, Kebbi State is known for its agrarian culture, and we know agriculture has been its mainstay. But in this, adding value to every kind of professionalism is of great importance. And that is why today's point of discuss will be talking something new. New in the sense that we are all farmers, we know the importance of farming, but we are taking it a better step, by extension, going into another realm of farming that has not been known much to the people of Kebbi. But we'll have experts who will be discussing on that. So on this premise, we have the opportunity of inviting officials of an organization by the name Nigeria Global Resource Limited. And what they are into, this is what we get to know. But in the first instance, from my far right, we have the Managing Director of Nigeria Global Resource Limited, Ambassador Dr. Joy Ijeria. You are welcome into the program.
Thank you very much.
Next to her is another Ijeria, Ambassador Dr. Joseph Ijeria, the chairman of this global resource. Thank you also for coming into the program.
Thank you very much for welcoming us.
And last but not the least, we have Dr. Adeyemo Adebayo. He's the Director of Operations of this global resource. You are also welcome into the program.
Thank you very much.
All right. Madam, if I would ask, since you are an ambassador, Dr. Joy Ijeria, you have Nigeria Global Resource. Are you coming to Kebbi State for the first time?
No.
Okay.
Kebbi is a home for me.
Okay.
Yes.
How?
Yeah, I came into Kebbi in 2017.
All right.
And I started my own agricultural project here, farming 30 hectares of rice.
All right.
Then 28 hectares of groundnut and guinea corn and like that. So since 2017, Kebbi has been a home for me.
Now, main course of your own programming here is hydroponics.
Yeah.
Is it so?
Yes.
Was it hydroponically done that time?
No. No, it wasn't hydroponically done.
All right.
According to you, it was the normal
farming,
the conventional way of farming. Yes.
As of then, what was the yield? As of then, in 2017, what was the yield?
Compared to now?
Yes.
No, it's nothing compared. It wasn't really giving us what we want, and that was what motivate the looking for a change, looking for to do something different from the norm. Yes.
Now, something different. If we introduce something different, what is this something that is so different?
Okay, there's something that is different. I'm going to categorize it in two different ways.
Okay.
Yeah, the normal hydroponic that is known generally, but with a difference in our own invention in Nigeria. Okay. The hydroponic that is known generally is we consume lots of electricity and stuff like that, but we had to improvise because of our peculiarity in Nigeria, the lights and all that. So we need to look for other means that people would do hydroponics without too much consumption of electricity. Because we find out that we realize that a lot of people don't go into hydroponic because they feel it's capital intensive. They have to the building of the greenhouse and then the electricity, because hydroponics, the normal conventional hydroponics need constant power supply. Okay, so that's why it was not adopted in this part of the world. So to break that barrier, we had to look into it and see other means, other ways it can be done without the constant supply of electricity, and that is called Gyconponics.
Gyconponics, yes. Another one. Yeah. We'll be into many words, but now let me take it to the next person here. You see, talking of these kind of agricultural services that you are trying to bring into the society. Our society normally is agrarian, like I've said earlier, but we are used to the use of farming with hoes, tilling the land and what have you. How do you think you can change the psyche, bring in something new, and it will be accepted?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. With what we have and that we're bringing on board right now, it's going to take less workmanship, less equipment to do this work. Okay? It make it very, very easy for everybody that are prepared to come on board. Okay? After the initial setup, to be honest with you, heaven is the limit. Okay? The initial system that we used to before, which we need tractors, we need hoes, we need all, it's not going to be needed in this Gyconponic method. It makes it very easy because the planting is going to be just on water, not on soil. So it's soilless.
Soilless, all right.
Soilless.
Okay.
So the weeding and all that is excluded from this. And the yield is much more.
Then that means we have to use dams, is that?
Not necessarily.
Okay, but there is conservation of water since you said it's soilless.
Exactly. So obviously it's going to need water. And this water is going to be in a container which will be recycled over and over again. Okay? So it's not that it's going to be constant water flowing from somewhere. We conserve it in a tank, and that water will be circulating through the system, going through the system. Okay? So enough for the plant to receive their nutrients and not be starved of nutrient that's needed. Okay.
All right. Well, for people who are used to the old order and now you are bringing the new order, how soon do you think they can take it in?
From our understanding, seeing is believing.
Certainly.
Because a lot of talk most of the time, people don't really want to buy it unless they see it themselves. So all we need to do now is a pilot scheme. After the pilot scheme, when they see the output, obviously, that will convince them easily to get on board.
Okay. Let me get to Director of Operations, Dr. Ademo. Now, you see, really, on issues of things that are new, they are very hard to accept. It's a kind of thing that is normal with human beings. Accepting change, sometimes come with a lot of difficulty. But this time around, if we want to go into this new order that we are bringing into farming, what kind of crops will you be focusing on? A lot of people have their own area of specialization and what they have. So now, in your own context, what kind of crops will you give priority?
Okay, thank you very much. Hydroponics farming, which we are bringing here, it's a system of farming that is done on water, as in outside soil.
Okay.
And hydroponics can be used to farm any types of kind of crops.
Fine.
Any kind. And the point is that the ones we are bringing in here, what anybody wants to farm, you can farm on it with it. You can use hydroponic farming to farm it. But at the moment, there are different types of hydroponics too. So we can farm tomato using hydroponics farming. We can farm pepper and all sorts of pepper using it. You can farm even rice, which is the major the major crop here. We can farm rice using hydroponics. Then we can even farm yam. We can farm we can farm potato, sweet potato. We can farm it using hydroponics farming.
But now let me take you, let's say, another realm. You see, other states must have maybe ventured into this. Was it a success story for them? Because they are coming in Kebbi now for other states. Have you been there?
Now, there are success stories. We, like I said, or like my MD said earlier, that we have hydroponics and we have Gyconponics.
Okay. Okay, they are two different things. Now differentiate between.
They are the same.
Okay.
But there are different types.
Okay.
There are different types of hydroponic system. We have aeroponic, we have deep water, we have NFT and the likes. One of the problems that we have that is actually paramount, that is the same in all these systems of hydroponics is electricity. Because
now, if you keep on insisting on electricity, I think that is one major challenge. But just digress.
Yes, the major challenge is electricity because it's actually a greenhouse system. It's a greenhouse system in which the whole environment is cultured, and you can farm anything there. But the problem is that for all the greenhouse system, there have been the challenge of electricity, because electricity for aeroponics, you need electricity to be sprinkling the water at every interval of some minute interval. Then even for hydroponics, you still need to be pumping, recycling the water with electricity and the likes. But the difference between that and what we have now is that we have improvised it in a way that the need for electricity has been reduced to the barest minimum. That's once in a while when you need to just use electricity just for you to pump your water into the reservoir where you would use, and the water is being recycled.
Okay. Yes. All right. Let me take it to our ambassador. Now, you said this hydroponics is a new way, it's a new system. If one wants to plant the normal way that they normally plant, with your own new tech, how do they do it?
Okay, to correct something, the hydroponics is not a new system. It's the Gyconponic.
Okay.
To Gyconponic, that is the new system.
Okay, but the are we into it before?
Yeah, yes.
Here in the state, have you seen it?
People have done.
No, have you seen it generally going
Kebbi?
around?
Oh, okay, no.
Oh, certainly.
All right.
Okay, but
all
now,
right,
put us through.
Okay, so it's the same method of transplanting.
Okay.
It
always starts from transplanting.
Transplanting, yes.
Whatever
from the
kind
nursery,
of crop.
and then from the nursery, then you have to do the transplanting. So it is compulsory when it comes to hydroponics or gyconponics.
Okay.
To start with the nursery.
How will they be kept afloat, since it is on water?
Okay. Yeah, there's one thing people don't understand is that soil is not necessarily giving the plant any nutrients or what have you. It only helps to hold the nutrients and the plant. So it serves as an anchor. So if you can improvise in any means to make sure you have an anchor for that plant, then you can eradicate soil, which we have done.
Let me go, let's say, nitty-gritty, keeping plants afloat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So now with this system, we have what we call the barrels, where the water will be sitting, like you asked earlier. And then on the barrels, we have some holes where we are going to sit in what we call the net cups. So it is inside the net cups that the plant will be sitting, while we have some gravels to hold it. We can use
gravels.
Yeah.
In the water.
No, in the net cup.
Okay, in the net cup. Okay.
Yes, in the net cup. The net cup will just be on top of the cover of the barrels. Like you can use, let's use plastic bucket for example. The cover of the plastic. So
I wish we had one.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, we don't have. So the hole, there's going to be a hole on the cover.
Yes.
So the net cup will be sitting on that hole, while the plant will be inside, and the gravel, or we can use gravel, we can use rock wool, whatever, to stand as an anchor for the plants. Yes.
Now you are coming into a generation whereby use of fertilizer is a major thing. For you, Ambassador, also, if you look at it, how do you think you can change the psyche? Because all over in Nigeria, you know it, production of fertilizer and what have you. Does your own technology now need fertilizer the way we normally use it on soil?
Not the way we normally use it on soil. Obviously, the plant needs nutrients.
Okay.
So that composition is something that we have done and set aside, and that is what will be added. They are soluble, we added to the water.
So it's not the normal fertilizer that we know?
No.
Not the NPKs and ureas?
No.
Then how do you think you can fight them? Because they are also marketing. You are saying you are going to get rid of them. And that is just the normal.
No.
Okay,
you see, they will be doing their own thing, but at the same time we bring in a new idea. Okay? So it's them that we have to fall in line with our idea if they want to catch up with what is going on right now. Because when this whole thing starts now, as it started already in other states, when it starts here in Kebbi and they see how the yield is, obviously they want to know how it is done. So they have to find a way to adapt to what we will be requiring, what we will be needing. Okay.
We have major players in terms of planting maize, millet, and what have you, sorghum. You know, they are tall cereal crops. Can you do the same thing on them?
You see, all these are possible. Okay. Whatever it is,
with no any support.
No. There will be support. There will be support because plants most of the time. Sometimes they need trellis, which is rope. So what we use ropes to hold them up. The one that needs support. For example, like rice now, rice doesn't need support
because it's a short one.
It's a short one. But like bell pepper now or tomato, they need support because when they start falling over, they're not going to be nice. So there's rope we're going to hold it, and it's called trellis, to the roof of the greenhouse to hold them up. Okay, so the support will be there for them.
But how long does it take in terms of, let's say, maturity from start to finish?
It depends on the plant. Okay, for example, like bell pepper now, within 3 months it will be ripe for harvesting. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Okay, let me go to Dr. Ademo. You see, we have been talking of greenhouse. Must it be under greenhouse? Must it be, or you can have alternatives?
Well, we've been talking of greenhouse. What is even a greenhouse?
That is where I'm getting to.
Yeah, what's greenhouse? When you get to some places, you will hear, in this part of the world, in this part of the environment, you cannot plant this particular type of farm probably because of the soil, or because of the weather. Okay, so what greenhouse does is to a kind of culture. You have a cultured environment where any plant can grow. So if peradventure where we want to do this now, you want to do it without a greenhouse, what are the benefits of even greenhouse? Number one, it helps you to reduce the issue of pests.
Okay, yeah.
So it will reduce pests to the barest minimum.
For instance, for one who farms in a hectare, how can he have a greenhouse of a hectare?
Yes, you can have a greenhouse of hectare.
But
one thing I want to let you understand is this. What you would make when you farm on the soil, and you farm on an hectare of land, you can make it when you farm on probably a plot of land using a greenhouse. Okay, and the yield you have, the revenue you have, the returns you have eventually, it's not compulsory you come over and invest so much on the hectares of land. No, you can just start small, and that small, the yield you have, in fact, there's possibility of you recouping your return on investment to have it in a cycle. Both the cost of the greenhouse, the barrels, everything. So it's possible you can have that, then you expand.
Okay, how does a greenhouse, let's say a simple greenhouse, look like?
A simple greenhouse, just like a house like this, though you don't block it because there must be, firstly, the plant needs sunlight to grow.
Yes.
And it also needs breeze. Okay, it needs the environment.
How do you do it?
So for greenhouse, we prepare the structure in a way that there are space for ventilation. That's number one. Then number two, in a greenhouse, you are not supposed to allow water to touch your plant anyhow. So what we do is that we cover it up. Now, if we cover it up with normal zinc and the like, there will be no sunlight. So there's what we call solar rig. Solar rig that we use to cover it up. So number one, rain cannot come in, nothing of such. But number two, it helps sunlight to penetrate so that there can be photosynthesis of the plants. So that's how greenhouse. Then around it, which is covered by net.
What kind of net, for instance?
Well,
mosquito net?
It's something like mosquito net. You cover it round, and there are better ones that you can still use around it, especially in an environment where we have a very where the weather is very hot. We will still cover it up. Aside the normal net, we still have shaded net that we use in order to reduce that temperature, to control the temperature and the like. So it's there is not much about the greenhouse than ensuring that it is protected against pests, against intruders or whatsoever, and also to avoid rain coming in, but ensure that there is enough sunlight.
Okay. What of instances of wind? You know, we have very strong winds here during rainy season.
Yes. Yeah, instances of wind. The way the greenhouse has been constructed, you know, we use galvanized
bees.
Both bees and the
frames.
poles, the frames. We use galvanized ones.
Okay.
You know, though there are some improvised ones that you can use woods and the like, but you know, it's susceptible to insects, termites and the like. So we usually encourage that we use galvanized steel to construct the frame, and once that is done, wind cannot affect it.
All right. Okay, coming back to our managing director, you see, like we have said, this is a business thing. Whatever you say is a business. So far as people are investing into it, they need to recoup their labor. But by extension, what kind of results will they see that will encourage them to partake in it?
Are you talking about if they invest in it?
Certainly, you want them to invest.
What they will get in return is 10 times what they will get on soil farming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How can you make it a reality now? Maybe just by way of words.
Okay, now in 50 by 100 feet, that's the normal size we do for every greenhouse. 50 by 100 feet. Now we have 306 of that barrel. On that barrel, it takes 18 plants. Okay, so the 18 plants, if you times it by 306 of the barrels, it gives you 5,500.
Okay.
5,500 something, 5,508.
Okay.
So, yes. Then, if you get to, if the plants on a norm, fruits, because most of the plants are indeterminate plants. Okay, the fruits between 15 to 50.
That's one bell pepper.
Talking about bell pepper now, yes.
No.
15 to 50 of that.
Right.
Okay, now if we want to be on a more conservative aspect now, we say 12 of it. So if you times that 12 of that bell pepper times 5,500, it gives you 66,000 something.
Okay, that is going nitty gritty.
Yes. Okay. So when it gives you that figure, then you divide. You divide it by 5. Normally, each kg is in each bell pepper. 3 bell pepper is supposed to give you 1 kg. Yes, 3 bell pepper is supposed to give you 1 kg with experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a major addition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but if we want to still be on a more conservative side, we say 5 bell pepper give you 1 kg. Okay. So that 5 now divide by that 66,000.
Okay.
It will give you 13,000 plus kg. Yes. Okay. So that's bell pepper now per kg. In I don't know about Kebbi, but where we're coming from, to be on a very safe side, is sold for 1,500. Now times that 1,500 times that 13,000 kg. It's going to give you about 19 million something.
Wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
In one circle.
Okay, that's very nice. Well, viewers, if you are just joining us, we're in the program Matters of the Moment, and we have been discussing with experts into another new technology in agriculture, hydroponics, and it's a very good way of farming, but something new, or call it alien, to the people of Kebbi State. But they are here to say it as it is so that people could embrace it. And like I've said, we have been discussing with the managing director of Nigeria Global Resources Limited, and she is Dr. Joy, or Ambassador Dr. Joy Nigeria. We also have Ambassador Dr. Joseph Nigeria, the chairman of this resource, and Dr. Adeyemo Adebayo, Director of Operations. Well, the discussion continues. Now, you see, when we come with something new, certainly you do have to take a Herculean task for people to accept. And like I've said, some people are into such farming that they don't want to leave for decades. We have people who are into sugarcane, people who are into millet, sorghum, and what have you. For those who are into sugarcane, it's always done in water. How will they scale through?
Well, with the sugarcane, that's probably going to be a challenge that we need to
work on.
Okay, because of the weight of the cane.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's not impossible. As I mentioned to you, we need trellis for it.
Yes.
Okay, and it will still sit perfectly in the water. All it needs is water and the nutrients. So it's not impossible. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, yes, it can be farmed as well with this Gyconponic system too.
Okay. What of cassava? Because I will be taking you by crops.
Yeah, cassava is exactly the same thing. Because with the cassava, we have the type we call the aeroponic.
Aeroponic.
Okay.
No.
Because if the cassava dips in the water, it's gonna rot. Okay. So it's suspended
in the air.
In the air.
Since you said aero.
It's suspended, and there's going to be a sprinkling of water. Okay. And this particular one, obviously, we're going to need more of electricity to get out to work. So, and that is the challenge with this one. Okay. You understand that?
Yes. Now, in terms of incentives, people always want people to bring incentives if they come with something, a program that is new. What kind of incentive are you trying to give to the people for you to encourage them?
Well, with this right now, as I said before, people like to see the outcome.
Yes.
Okay. When they see the yield, obviously we don't need to talk much.
Do you have any pilot scheme here in Kebbi or Kebbi State?
Not.
We are trying to set it up.
Exactly.
So most likely, you must have a proposal. Where?
Yes. We have a proposal, and we are still talking to the stakeholders right now. Okay, and then as soon as we arrive at a conclusion, it will be implemented.
And let's assume you have a kind of field that has been given. How likely do you think it will come up?
Within a month and a half, the setup should be completed.
Okay. So
as long as all the resources are available.
Like I've been saying, there are crops that are very much needed that are not even here. For instance, Irish potato.
Okay.
Do you do that also?
That is possible with this Gyconponic too. Aeroponic.
Okay, it also goes on here.
Exactly.
but
and yam as well.
Okay, for yam, well, it is something new here. But how do you go about yam?
The same thing. The same aeroponic will be suspended as well, and there will be a sprinkling of water
from the bottom.
From the bottom, yes.
With what?
With pipes.
Okay, there'll be sprinkling. Okay.
Sprinklers, yes.
All right.
That's why it needs electricity.
Energized with electricity.
That's why it needs electricity.
What of in case where you don't have? For instance, forget about generators. Forget about the normal electricity. If you have to energize yourself.
Solar.
So we can install solar. So obviously that is another way of getting it.
Okay.
But under normal circumstances, a lot of people don't have access to that. Okay, so that's why we're bringing in this Gyconponic that eliminates that electricity. So not all plants now will go with the Gyconponic method that we bring in, but the hydroponic, is all for all as long as.
Which one does not use even electricity? It only use the natural sun. Maybe you don't need to input any issue.
All of them need natural sun.
No, what I'm saying, maybe the one you, let's say, cut issue of electricity out of.
This is Gyconponic.
And it's possible?
It can be totally cut out.
You said what?
It can be totally cut out.
Oh, it can be totally why?
You need to pump the water.
And all that.
Once in a while, when you have to add nutrients, or you have to add you have to change the water. Maybe the pH of the water is too high, and you have to change it. So why you're removing
if you're talking
that
of pH,
water?
how do a layman knows anything about pH?
This is why we have come to Kebbi to train them.
Okay, that means there must be experts, or there must be experts going around like extension workers.
Even in Kebbi, okay, there are experts regarding this pH issue. Okay. So some of the stakeholders we've come in contact with, they have even mentioned it to assure us that throughout the whole of Kebbi, they've tested the pH and all over
it's good to go.
It's good to go.
All right, Dr. Ademo, you see, in every kind of context, there are challenges, there are successes. Let me start with the challenges. What are the challenges?
Okay, the challenges of hydroponics are generally hydroponics is expensive. Generally, hydroponics is expensive. But this system that we have, the good thing about it is that it is not as expensive as a normal hydroponic system. Then one another challenge we know that we will have is the receptivity of the people to change. You know, and one of the things that we have made up our mind to do is to, number one, give a lot of orientation, and how do we also get this orientation done more by meeting with the heads, the traditional heads, the heads within the communities, and all the heads in the communities. We give them the orientation, we teach them and train them and tell them the benefit of this. We are not, you know, when there is the need for a system change, it's not actually a total changeover. Okay, it is not a total change that we just have. It's more or less like there's going to be a parallel run,
a comparative.
Exactly. Why we start with the Gyconponics, which is the hydroponic system that we are working on, we are bringing in. The other traditional planting also will still continue. But in the long run, you know, by time when the system is good, it's good. It automatically progresses and erode whatever has been the traditional ways of doing things. So we may look at it that, okay, probably, this thing is not everybody that will be able to afford it at the beginning. Sure, it's not everybody that will be able to afford it at the beginning. But you know, as the process continues, as we start and you see what the yield, definitely it will be much easier for everybody to buy into it. And the good part of it is that, you know, just like you were asking, there are peculiarities, especially when it comes to environments like this. There's also some other peculiarities in which, while we're working on one, we'll also be looking for, our research still continues. You see, this Gyconponic system, the good thing, as we have said, it has helped in the aspect of rice farming, which is a major stay here, which then potato, bell pepper, tomatoes, and the likes, and the benefit is just so enormous. It's so enormous.
Okay. Now I talked of issue of challenges and successes. What are the successes now here? For instance, from your own records.
Okay. From our records, you know, we're just bringing it to Kebbi. We're just coming into Kebbi. Well, like this Gyconponic system has actually been, we've done a pilot test of it in Jos here.
Jos, okay. Well, Jos we could always say is, in fact, the weather of Jos is very fair.
We've done in Jos here, and one is also going on presently in Anambra State.
Well, they have a better weather. I don't know whether you have tried that of Kebbi. That is as hot as you may never think of.
No, we actually, the point is that the greenhouse itself, we have done all that we need to do to ensure that the greenhouse is cultured, irrespective of what the weather is, irrespective of the degree of the sun, of the heat, and the likes. We have done it in a way that it will be done in a way that the greenhouse where the planting is done is cultured, and we won't have issue with that.
All right, thank you very much. Now, Ambassador, if I'll come back to you, you see, you said there are a lot of goodies with regards to this new technology. If there are a lot of goodies, you said you get rid of weeds, you get rid of this, you get rid of that, and of how advantageous, we are talking of advantages, how advantageous is it for one to enroll in this?
Okay, there are so many advantages in it. We will say it is easy to implement. The only small notch you will have from the beginning is the initial investment, and that investment can take you 30, 40, 50 years once the structure is being laid. So after that, all you need to be doing is just to get your seedlings and then your nutrients. Okay, then another advantage is that it conserves water. 98% of the water is recycled. So you don't have issue of irrigation. Oh, the rain did not come.
So that means you must have a reservoir.
Yes, definitely.
What of those tube wells that people are used to? You know, tube wells, they have their tubes and they have their wells and they will be pumping.
The reason why you will have reservoir, because you have to sometimes miss your nutrient there. 1, 2. Sometimes you have to remove some of the water if you find anything wrong with the water. Maybe it got contaminated, which is not usually which doesn't usually happen. Okay, and sometimes maybe the pH, like we said, because sometimes there might be something that would go wrong and you want to change the water. So those are the reasons why you have the reservoir. So you can't use the tube well for such, because there is measurement for the nutrients to go into the water.
Then if that is it, what kind of source of water will you have?
You are having the normal source of water as long as it's been tested and the pH is okay. The only thing, that is where the lights cannot be totally eradicated. So you draw the water into the reservoir, and then you mix your nutrients.
That reservoir, would it be kind of artificial one? What I mean, like tank, septic tank, or anything?
You can do it in any way. You can do it the normal block. They do, and you can use the tank.
Okay. Anyone can serve?
Anyone that is convenient.
What if the water turns greenish? Sometimes, you see algae and what have you.
No, that is what we also work on. Yes. We have put everything in place that even if you do the tank or the block one, it doesn't go. Yes.
All right. Talking of groundnut farming is one major thing that also people here are very interested in. How does it work in your own new move?
With the groundnut farming as well, as I mentioned before, we need the aeroponic system, the air.
Why? Most of these are on air. How could they be hanging all these things in air?
Because groundnut is not going to sit in the water and grow.
Okay.
So because if it sits in the water, it's going to rot.
It will germinate also.
After germination, obviously, we don't want it to rot. So that is why it has to be suspended. Okay? So, is it possible you can just open it?
Why not? Go ahead. If there are pictorial demonstrations, if we have, you can show. Yes? All right. You can take it up so that they can see. You can show it to our cameraman. Yes.
It's just the structure of the
greenhouse.
The greenhouse. The barrels.
Okay. This is where the net cup sit. This is where the plant sits. What you were asking earlier.
All right. I hope you are getting as well.
Okay.
Hold it for a while. Then next page.
So this is how the plant sits in the cup.
The net cup.
In the cups. Okay.
Inside the water is the water.
Okay. That is the water down.
Yes.
Okay. Then we move to the next one.
Okay. Just a structure.
Okay.
Governance one.
All right. The structure is there. No any kind of cover. Is that?
No.
Now.
There's solar ridge.
Okay.
There's solar ridge.
It's transparent.
Transparent.
Okay. All right. Now let's move to the next one.
This is a part of other structures as well.
Okay. Is it polythene that is being used to cover?
It's not polythene.
Okay. Then what is that?
It's net.
Okay. Net. Okay. All right.
They just sample of
the
people.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I think we have gotten to the end of it.
No,
but
no,
okay. All right. Keep on showing. We will be interested. Now
this is
Irish.
Yes, Irish.
Okay.
So this is how it will be suspended. Okay. And then we'll be sprinkling of water from below.
Is it from below or from the top?
From below. From below.
Okay.
This is why this one needs a lot of electricity to survive.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So and then also
another one.
The top bit is yam, and then I think the Irish police at the bottom as well. Okay. So groundnut will use this kind of format as well.
Okay. They will be hanging on top.
They're hanging on top. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So that's about it.
Okay, that's all I think about the pictorial one. Okay, we have more. Okay. Okay, this is rice or what? Is this rice?
Yes, that's rice.
Also hanging or?
No, it's not hanging. Just lifted the barrel on top of the barrel. Just lifted it up.
So
the water
rice
is under.
Sit on the water. Okay.
Okay, this is an improvised one.
Okay, like improvised one. Okay.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right, that's a good one. But since you have arrived Kebbi, for instance, have you gone round? Just general. It's a general question. Have you gone round? Yes, officially, have you gone round trying to discuss with, let's say, stakeholders?
Okay. Yeah. We've done that. We've seen the PS Agriculture. We've spoken to Commissioner for Information.
Okay, information.
No, the Commissioner for Agriculture is not around.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. We've seen the Commissioner for Information and some other stakeholders.
Now, generally you see it's an issue of acceptability. Well, they can tell you as stakeholders, and on ground, I don't know, have you reached out to some locals?
No, I think we started with the stakeholders and believing, they know the people very well.
Yeah.
They know how to reach out to the people, and they will direct us on how
to go about it. Let's say, since you are coming to Kebbi, certainly I know you must have a kind of pilot scheme target. If you have that target, for instance, just out of your own volition, if you wouldn't mind to tell us, what kind of direction or what kind of pilot would you want to have?
Okay, talking about pilot scheme, we already had a discussion with one of the commissioners, and they already told us, even one of the, yes, I think we spoke to a private sector, one of the Akimis or
yes, villages.
So, and he's even released one of his lands to us for us to use as a pilot scheme. And that pilot scheme is what we want to use to be able to convince, because my stay in Kebbi here, I realized that there are people that see before they believe.
Certainly.
Yes, so that's the...
I hope there's not the scene of abracadabra.
No. Okay, so that's the measures we are taking, and we are trying to also see how we can put that in place. But some of the stakeholders are promising to be the one to even pilot it, to go with it, and then so that the people can
run with it as well.
Now, you gave me example of some states in which you said you have excelled in whatever way. Anyway, you said you had that of Plateau, Jos, and you had that of Anambra. Now, it seems like in the north you have not gotten your torch. Because, look at the weather in the north. I mean, the whole of the north, you are in the north anyway. And you are one of the extremes now. So what do you think about it? Because I want to see how acceptability will come into play with terms of this technology.
What I believe is we have some people that are agronomists that are in the north. I think we met some of them yesterday, and they are so excited about it. So I believe one thing with the north, when one leader or one person accepts a thing, everybody goes with it. The only little thing that will be there is the funding. But if the government can, allow the training of the people and then can push it as a state program, then it's going to fly.
Now, you see, all what we are talking about is an issue of adding value to whatever kind of product or produce that we are going to give in. Now, I asked of incentives. Like this time around, when we saw a lot of companies coming in, let's say those who are involved in rice production, they offered incentives to farmers. In your own context, what are you willing to give?
Yesterday...
Okay, go ahead. Anyone can take it. No, anyone can take
yesterday, we were asked, what do we want to do? We told them we have come here to train the people, because being a farmer here in Kebbi, I have seen different things. I have seen how the people put in so much effort and they don't get much. So this is something that is a passion for me. So I said I want to train the people to come out from the norm into the reality, because what we are bringing is the reality. Now, so they were asking us what is the cost for the training. We told them our own contribution to this society, to this state, is to train them for free. That's our contribution.
Training is one thing, offering the whole thing is another. But we'll get back to that.
We are
but
let
me just take you across one issue. We had some Americans who were here trying to promote sesame production. At the end of the day, they ended up leaving without getting results. For instance, they had to go providing toilets in order for people, even if they farm or whatever they do, they can use the toilets. Now, those are the kind of digression, those are the kind of things that are raising a lot of challenges where people had to leave their projects. Now, for you, that's what I said. What are you willing to offer? What are you bringing to the table? Well, the training is one. What of the pilot schemes? so that people could be able to embrace.
That's all we are partnering with the government. So our partnership with the government will make them, empower the people to do it. So the empowerment is, we're trying to do like 4 people together in one greenhouse. The government is going to, do the sponsorship, and then to empower them. I think this, being a new government, this is going to go a long way.
From your look, what kind of crop do you think they will concentrate on, or what kind of crop do you want them to?
Okay, I think they can go for rice, onion, which they are known for in Kebbi here.
Yes.
And then bell pepper, because that is the
perishables, I believe.
No, that's the blood money there, if I can use that word.
Okay.
We are talking about bell pepper. Yes, it makes it profitable. Or every one of them is profitable. Okay. Then tomatoes, and then the normal.
And you said it's an all-around farming, isn't it?
Yes, all year round.
All right. Well, I'm being allotted of time, but before then, Ambassador, do you have any message that you want to pass across regarding this kind of new technology of, that you are bringing in?
Yes. What I want to say is to encourage people to be able to think outside of the box and to get orientated with this idea. Okay, because if we stick to our traditional old ways of farming, we're going to keep on making the same mistake over and over again. Because when we were farming here in Kebbi, we discover one big mistake that everybody's making, and it's still happening right now. Okay, when they pick up this idea right now, all that will be a thing of the past, and the yield they will get out of this system right now is going to encourage them so much that, they're going to take all their time to invest as much as they can to get the highest yield from this program.
Dr. Ademo, last words in the program.
Okay, yeah. What I want to say is that is acceptability of this program. Or this program is going to be a very, very great paradigm shift from the norm to what is acceptable. And as a nation, even as a state, Kebbi State in particular, we've been known as an agrarian, state. So my encouragement is people should come out. They should accept this. They should be inquisitive enough to know what they need to know, even as in order to help them to get the best out of their farming system. And the good part of it is that before you know it, in just the near future, you realize that the exploitation that will be going on.
You're not even thinking of subsistence, you are thinking of exports.
I'm telling you, because the point is that fine, there's a shortage of food, but when this system is being used, there will be excess of food, and then would have to be exporting, in which the federal would also have to actually key into it.
All right. Yes. All right, last but not the least, our own managing director, you see the program is winding down, but there is always a way of, let's say, wooing the people. Now, in terms of what we call sequential persuasion, you just have to make people understand and buy it. Now, do you go for jingles and what have you so that people will embrace it? The more you persuade, the more they can accept.
Okay, when we went to see the Commission of Information yesterday, I made a statement. I said, people might wonder, why did we come to Commissioner for Information when we are doing agriculture? But I also said the information
is key.
Yeah. When you are deformed, you're not informed, you are deformed. Okay, yes. So that's a popular saying. Yeah. So we need to create awareness, a lot of awareness. So we will go for jingles, we will go for whatever it takes for our people.
I hope we were part of it.
For our people to come out from this having to do hard labor. The world has moved on. A lot of other countries, they do agriculture with ease. So why can't we do the same? So if we are saying that we have an issue, the issue now has been sorted. So why don't you want to embrace it? Okay, so we have to do everything possible. I said it yesterday in the meeting. I said we will, even if it's to go to the rook and crannies of all the rural areas, we will do that. If it will take us to take the what is it called,
megaphone, okay,
shouting, we will do that, just to make sure our people is free, and then the bridge of food demand will be reduced.
Well, we know farming is not a profession of men, but what made you to be so keen into it as a woman?
Okay, this is a passion from childhood.
Okay.
You know, I grew up understanding that we import things. So I could remember as a child asking my mom, why are we the one bringing, why don't we take things out? And she just answered me, and that's how it's been done. So I grew up with that passion that I want to be exporting things. I want to be exporting things. So I started right from where I was in primary school. I started planting yam, ugu in our small garden in the house. Okay, so I have this so much passion for agriculture, you know, and I will go with my friends to their farm. My mom would beat me. Tomorrow I will go again. You know, so it has been a passion because I want to build the economy. And growing up, and I understand that the more we import, the more we are killing the economic system. So, and we want to do something where others will need us, and if we are exporting things, it will build our economy. So those are the passions.
That may not be the best of our friends, but having said that, if one wants to meet you, you know, somewhere, somehow, maybe by virtue of watching this program, where can he do that?
We can.
If he wants to reach out to you,
our phone number, our website.
Okay, you have a website?
Yes.
So could you tell us that, please?
Okay, www.ejeraglobal.com.
Take it slower so that the viewers could listen well, could get it well.
www.ejeraglobal.com, and they can also reach us on our phone number.
Maybe give us one or two.
All right, 070-60-959-779.
Take it slower.
Okay, 070-60-959-779.
Thank you very much. Well, viewers, this is why we have to draw the curtains. We have been able to discuss with experts on hydroponics, a new technology in farming, and we have the officials of Egeria Global Resource Limited, and they have been able to contribute a lot. I believe for those who are thinking of farming, this is another way out. You can try it and see. If it is better than what you have known earlier in yesteryears, you can drop it and take the new idea. So this is where we have to call it a day. Thank you very much for the Ambassador, Dr. Joy Egeria, Managing Director of Egeria Global Resources Limited. Thank you for showing the program. Likewise, the Chairman, Ambassador Dr. Joseph Egeria. Thank you for your contributions in the program.
Thank you very much.
And last but not the least, Dr. Adeyemo Adebayo, the Operations Manager. Thank you for your contributions.
Thank you very much.
Well, viewers, I'm Umar Farouk Mohammed, wishing you the best of the night till we see you another time. Good night.